Well, today is St. Patrick's Day, and usually on St. Patrick's Day there'd be a big ecumenical service in the Cathedral, and the Dean always very kindly invites all the local clergy, and it's a great pleasure to be involved. And there's usually Irish stew in a marquee just behind the Cathedral. Of course, none of that's possible now, and in fact it's more or less a year since we started in this cycle of lockdown. In fact, this YouTube channel was started exactly a year ago. So we've had a year of this experience of lockdown, of pandemic, of all the concerns and the worries that that's raised. It's been a very difficult year. I think maybe we're starting to move back to something like normality with the rollout of the vaccines, and we can look forward to a brighter and a happier future. But still not quite clear how things are going to go. But let's be hopeful that things will start to improve now. But today is St. Patrick's Day, and it's always interesting to think about St. Patrick, a very real person, a Romano-British person who was abducted as a child and brought to Ireland and later called back by God to help establish the Christian Church. And St. Patrick wrote, for sure, we know two things. He wrote his confession and he wrote his letter to Coroticus. And Coroticus was probably a Scottish chieftain who'd come across the Irish Sea, raided a village and abducted people and caused a lot of mayhem. And St. Patrick wrote to him telling him to repent. And of course, though that's such a long time ago, it still has resonances today with people trafficking and the violence that surrounds it. So in a sense, this is hundreds of years old, but still very apposite for today. Well, St. Patrick was a very real person, lived in the 4th and 5th century AD, and a very important historical person because he lived at the end of the Roman Empire in what we call the Dark Ages. But around St. Patrick, the mists and clouds, the Dark Ages start to lift, and we are able to see through his writings a glimpse into life in those difficult times. But I'd like to read now a passage associated with St. Patrick, part of St. Patrick's breastplate. It may be that it was written sometime later, but it's very closely associated with him. I'd like to read it now from the Oxford Book of Prayer. Christ be with me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ in me, Christ beneath me, Christ above me, Christ on my right, Christ on my left, Christ where I lie, Christ where I sit, Christ where I arise, Christ in the heart of everyone who thinks of me, Christ in the mouth of everyone who speaks of me, Christ in every eye that sees me, Christ in every ear that hears me. Salvation is of the Lord, salvation is of the Lord, salvation is of the Christ. May your salvation, O Lord, be ever with us.